Thank you, Dan. Good afternoon once again. And it was mildly surprising, to say the least, that Paul Heckingbottom wasn't nominated for Championship Manager this season. Not only has he guided Sheffield United to the verge of promotion, the Blades boss has had to deal with a myriad of off-field problems, but he's held everything together, and this run of 4 home games could finish the job. Cardiff may have to keep fighting right to the very end. Monday's limp surrender to Sunderland was eviscerated by Sabri Lamouchi, and they continue to offer more of the same when their 20-year-old spell in the higher divisions will soon be over. A reminder of the two sides once again. Changes for Sheffield United enforced, whereas Fodringham is suspended. Anel Ahmedhodzic is attending the birth of his child, and Ollie Norwood is on the bench, so Adam Davis is back in goal. George Baldock will move into the back three to allow Max Lowe to return at wing back, and John McAtee comes into midfield. So it's Davis in goal, Baldock, Egan and Robinson the back three, Vogel, Berger, McAtee, Doyle and Lowe across midfield, McBurney and Unjai in attack. 4 changes for Cardiff. Romeo, Ojo, Wickham and Sawyers are all dropped to the bench. Simpson, Ridomota, Rawls and Atete come in following that 1-0 loss against Sunderland. It is Allsop in goal, McGuinness, Unji and Kipra their back three, Philogene and Simpson the wing backs, Rawls, Wintle and Ridomota in midfield. Atete and Kaba will be in attack. Really important game at both ends of the Championship here today, and at this point we must say it's the sort of occasion that our friend and colleague Nigel Pearson would have loved to have been at, and really it is hard to reconcile that it's now a year since his passing, and in the midst of all the football, all the talk and all the noise today, all of us at Talksport will be thinking of Nigel and his family 1 year on. And Chris Owellamo, for Sheffield United, this is all about just keeping things tight, just doing what they've been doing and just getting over the line.
Yeah, exactly. I think just having that understanding what they're about, what they've been about all campaign. Yeah, they've had a few bumps along the road, but you know what, they've usually had the answer to get back on and get back on that wagon and do exactly what they have to do. You know, I think Paul Heckingbottom's got a very experienced squad. They've got very strong again today, even though there's some important players missing. They've shown they've got that quality and depth, but the balance is right. You know, McAtee and Doyle, you know, I'm very impressed with two of them, and you're looking at the age of them, you know, the prospects that they have, that literally the world at their feet, because they go out there and they can dominate. So disappointed that they're not going to feature in what's going to be one hell of a game in the FA Cup semi-final against their parent club, but it is what it is.
And Cardiff City just need to improve, and improve very quickly, or they will be heading into the lower divisions for the first time since 2003. There are so many key games in the Championship at this stage of the season, and we have one here at Bramall Lane today, which is underway on the home of the EFL, Talksport 2, Cardiff in all blue, the Bluebirds attacking the Kop here at Bramall Lane, away to our right hand side in the first half. Blue skies and bright sunshine here. Sheffield United in their home strip, red and white stripes, black shorts and black socks, and it's back with Adam Davis, the standing goalkeeper today, wearing all yellow, away to our right hand side. But it's a benefit for Sheffield United, Chris, that they haven't got Fodringham, but they don't have a callow youngster in goal. Davis has a good deal of experience at this level.
No, he does. You know, you're saying at this level as well. I think one promotion from the League One with Barnsley, and then went to Stoke, never really figured so much there. And this, you know, it's a very, very capable keeper. You know, comes in, dominant, commanding of the defenders in front of him. So yeah, like you say, it's an experienced head coming in, like for like.
Sheffield United looking to build just inside the Cardiff half on this near side with Jack Robinson, who was taken off after 20 minutes at Burnley following the red card for West Fodringham, to allow Davis to come onto the field to play. His ball forward intended for McBurney is cut out, and now Philogene will try and bring it forward on this near side for Cardiff City. He was challenged by Egan, and it will be a throw-in for Cardiff. Paul Heckingbottom Just gesticulating wildly from the edge of his technical area. Behind Perry NG, who will take this throw-in. A few hundred Cardiff fans have made the long journey up on a Saturday lunchtime to be here today. Now Philogene turning away neatly in midfield, but he's quickly closed down by Unjai. He wins it back and slips it on towards Doyle, who can break over the halfway line for Sheffield United up towards the edge of the penalty area. McBurney just checking his run to stay onside to the left, but it's further back towards Lowe, and now Doyle again. Berger wide towards this near side and Low ball slid into the penalty area, and it's cleared away at the near post by McGuinness, and it will be a throw into Sheffield United on this near side with 3 minutes played here at Bramwell Lane, and it's still goalless.
So it's type of control from Philogene there. He's driving inside, but it's Njai again. That work ethic without the ball, wins the ball, and then McAtee driving at the Cardiff defence. Kept possession of the ball. I've got to say, 4 out of the 5 second ball contestants at the minute it's been won by Sheffield United. So Cardiff, they have to be better. It's so important. That's more like it. Go and put your face in it and stop Sheffield United getting their heads up.
Now Robinson tries to volley a ball across the penalty area after it was lofted towards him by Baldock on this near side, but he was offside anyway, and it will be a free kick for Cardiff. The situation at the top of the table: Burnley have 90 points, Sheffield United 76. Burnley could be champions today if they win at Reading and Sheffield United don't win here. Then it's Middlesbrough 71 following their win 5-1 against Norwich on Talksport 2 last night. Luton have 71, Millwall 62, Blackburn 62, but outside the playoffs. Preston also on 62 and Norwich on 61, but they only have 4 games to play. So Sheffield United know they basically need 11 points, a maximum of 11 points in 6 games, as a loose ball from Sheffield United is cut out, and it was a break forward from McAtee towards the far side. Simpson coming in with a challenge, and the referee David Webb has shown the yellow card, and Simpson there was really sold short by the initial ball forward and had to make that challenge to prevent McAtee bursting into the area.
Yeah, you know what, Simpson, it's no fault of his own there. Poor ball, McAtee onto it on his front foot. Great first touch as well. I'm just thinking, Simpson, does he have to make the challenge? McAtee's going, his touch is going out wide. Can he not just recover straight? He's got 3 centre-backs or 3 defenders shuffling across to kind of, one of them's going to go and commit and get in the face of McAtee. It allows Simpson then to drive back. It's a silly one for him to take there.
4 minutes played, 0-0 here. Also goalless at Villa Park over on Talksport between Aston Villa and Newcastle. And they played just over half an hour in the Devon Derby in League One. It is 0-0 there at a 12:30 start in the east of England, and it's Cambridge 0, Peterborough 0 in the early stages at the Abbey. Free kick from Doyle, high to the far post. Egan goes tumbling inside the penalty area, but no hint of a penalty, and it will be a goal kick. The bottom of the table, reading upwards, Wigan 34, Blackpool 35. Both of those look doomed, and they play each other today. Reading have 41 points following the points deduction. They're at home to Burnley today. Cardiff on 42 points, but they have a much better goal difference than all the teams around them. And just above them, Queen's Park Rangers have 43 points. They're at home to Coventry, and Huddersfield have 43 points following their recent revival under Neil Warnock, and they travel to Swansea today. And they are at Cardiff in a couple of weeks' time, and that game is live for you on Talksport 2. So many big games coming up from the Championship. We're back here on Tuesday for Sheffield United against Bristol City. Then on Wednesday it is Middlesbrough against Hull. As Baldock brings it forward now, playing as a central defender for Sheffield United today, wide on the far side. He continues his run forward. Chris Basham is on the injured list, in addition to the absence of Ahmed Hodzic for paternity reasons. Now Robinson on this near side, back in field towards Doyle, and it's a good point that Chris makes before kick-off. Looking further ahead to next weekend, there's no doubt that the Blades will miss both McAtee and Doyle, who will be ineligible for the semi-final against their parent club Manchester City at Wembley. Again, you can hear live on Talk Sport next Saturday evening. As Atete loses out for Cardiff, midway inside his own half, but it's quickly played in field, and then Rinomota wide to this near side, and Philogene again has got the opportunity to come in field towards the edge of the penalty area. Tries the shot left-footed, struck it well but dragged it wide.
He's got a lot about him. I think very, very close control, good awareness as well, nice touches. I think he could have taken that one in a bit closer, probably 24, 25 yards. He's taken a strike with the left foot, never really connected with it, almost covering away from goal there. Davies very, very comfortable as soon as that left the foot of Philogene there. But like you say, he's showing nice touches and good work ethic as well when Cardiff don't have the ball.
4 wins, 1 draw, 7 defeats under Sabri Lamouchi. Of course, he's the third manager at Cardiff this season. Steve Morrison sacked in September. Mark Hudson was given 17 games. And while the previous 2 managers were trying to change the style of play after a number of years of being direct and fairly prosaic, Lamouchi has gone back to basics, high balls and very little possession for Sheffield United, for Cardiff City rather, in recent times, and their away form has been dreadful. 8 points in 9 games away from home since the World Cup, and only 7 goals scored in that time. 3 of them came last week against Blackpool. Yeah,
when you're looking at them though, Nigel, you look at the size of them, you look at the attributes of the Cardiff players. I think when you come in as a manager, you think, right, okay, we can beat most if it's the physical side of the game, but they're up against one of the strongest, in my opinion, in Sheffield United. But they've got to make those work.
Baldock now on the overlap far side.
And when I say that, I'm talking about free kicks, corner kicks, everything that's coming into the box. They've got to be aggressive in the way that they go and attack that ball.
Now McAtee looking to bob and weave away from a couple of challenges on the edge of the Cardiff penalty area, but Joe Rall steps in to clear long downfield. And it will be an opportunity for Sheffield United to try and build again here. 8 minutes played on Talksport 2, the home of the EFL. At a sun-drenched Bramall Lane, it is Sheffield United 0, Cardiff City 0. Sheffield United closing in on the Premier League. Cardiff looking over their shoulders towards League One. As Lowe comes forward again on this near side. Low ball in towards that near post. McCurdy was challenging, but it's cleared away again well, and it was a good clearance from NG, and it will be a throw-in for Sheffield United again. In towards Doyle. Down the line for Lowe on this near side, the left. NG coming across though to just jab it out of play, and Jack Robinson will have to retrieve the ball himself.
Yeah, completely dominating here, Sheffield United. Sanderberg has seen a lot of the ball, that little interaction there with Bogle, Tommy Doyle picking up nice little pockets as well, and he's got a fantastic range of passing, as we've seen with the ball out to Max Lowe as well. But like you say, look at the energy in that centre of the pitch, Nigel, and it's always wanting the ball, always little kind of movements, know exactly where they are, and just trying to keep Cardiff pinned in at the minute.
And Sheffield United have been so strong at home. 12 wins, 3 draws and 4 defeats overall. Of course, they hammered Burnley here back in November, although that said, Burnley haven't lost anywhere since. But they have lost against their major rivals recently. Middlesbrough and Luton both winning here. And Sheffield United had a terrific run either side of the World Cup. 10 wins, 2 draws and only a single defeat. But since then it is 1-5 and lost 5, which is okay because they put themselves in a great position. But if it carries on like that, it could be a bit edgy between now and the end of the season. Now Lowe brings the ball down on his chest, comes in field from the left-hand side. It's left by Njai, almost threaded through to him on the edge of the penalty area, but then cleared away. Robinson looking to build down the left, but a good challenge coming in from NG again, who's seen plenty of work on this near side. The Cardiff central defender, and those Cardiff City fans at that end of the ground are getting a very good view of the way their team are having to defend very deeply at the moment.
Yeah, again, I think Sheffield United looking for the perfect goal there. Max Lowe really hugging the line, and then he's driving inside. Fired it into, I think it was Sanderberg, might have been McAtee. He's trying to do the one-touch thing. I think he just opened out. He's in the D of the 18-yard box, open up the goal, put the foot through it and ask the question. But again, Max Lowe breaking his neck just to put some pressure on the right back here and like you say, give Cardiff a throw in. But at the minute it's just all Sheffield United.
Threaded down the line on this near side for Rinomota, and the space here if they can keep the ball in play at the Kop end of Bramall Lane, and he's done so. Challenged by Egan, and Rinomota needs some support, and eventually it is won back by Iliman, and Jai coming back to help out his back five. Doyle inside his penalty area, almost gives the ball away, poked forward by Atete. Philogene is in there. Rinomota tries a shot, he was challenged, and in the end it is scrambled behind for a corner, and that all came from Tommy Doyle being far too casual inside his own penalty area.
Yeah, there's a time when to play, there's a time when to move it forward, and the fact that he did what he did is because he is so comfortable in those tight areas. But you've got to know that the way that Cardiff are, they're trying to kind of force the error, don't give them any opportunities there. I've got to say, Rinomota there, he stopped the ball that got played down into the channel. Why? You know, if he actually breaks his neck, he's there, he's driving into the box with it. But better from Cardiff there, just couldn't really get that shot away on the goal of Davies.
Rolls will take the corner. Cardiff have scored only one goal from corners so far this season. And Rawls with a delivery, high to the far post, headed away by McBurney, former Swansea City man, of course. He'll have special motivation today. Wintle now fires him the shot, and it's turned aside by Davis, who will have seen it late, coming through the crowd. It's a corner to Cardiff, but suddenly they come close to taking the lead.
Well, it's an excellent strike from Ryan Wintle there. I've got to say, I think he's took it. He's one of those, he's just punched the ball. You know, you can see the movement as soon as it leaves the foot of Wintle, and I've got to say Davies was scrambling as well there. I think he sees it late, sees it through a lot of bodies. But it's a great strike, excellent connection, and it's just sneaking into that near. Tell you what, the ball's moving all the way over there. We've got a great view on the monitor.
Corner to the near post, headed away by McBurney. Now Njai in the sunshine on the far side, but he just runs the ball out of play. And he was under pressure anyway as he tried to build on that far side, and it will be a throw-in for Cardiff City. It's almost mild here now today, which has not been the case at various football grounds up and down the country. Chris has had to borrow a coat here today because he arrived thinking it was going to be extremely mild. It's not quite that balmy.
It's not too bad. I've been looked after though, Nigel.
Yeah, we should say thank you to Kevin and the press team here for helping Chris out with his layers today. Aston Villa have taken the lead over on Talksport. Big game at the top of the Premier League. Aston Villa 1, Newcastle 0, the latest score there. You can follow that game over on Talksport. And it was Jacob Ramsey who has scored the opening goal. 14 minutes played here, and it's still Sheffield United 0, Cardiff City 0, and the early possession dominated by the home side, but Cardiff City have come closest to scoring. 76% possession for Sheffield United, but all the shots in the game have come from Cardiff.
Yeah, I don't think Samuel Amishi will be too disappointed with that. You know, I think they have grown into this match, I have to say. Got a little bit better, kept Sheffield United on the back foot there, got some shots away. It's just important that, like you say, they are very, very direct, but when it's on to play, when it's on to get those couple of passes in, it's important the likes of Wintle, Rawls gets that ball down and try and play.
Still goalless in the two derbies underway in League One, heading towards half-time at St James's Park between Exeter and Plymouth, and 15 minutes played at the Abbey between Cambridge and Peterborough, and they are also just underway as well in a big game in the National League today. Barnet against Wrexham. Wrexham, of course, winning that incredible game against Notts County, and they both played either end of the day today. Wrexham underway in their match against Barnet, and Notts County playing Woking, who are currently third at 5:30. Now a cross deflected in towards the near post for Cardiff City, and it was guided away by Egan. There was no real communication there between Davis and the central defender. Atete was in attendance, and now Cardiff will try and build again. On the far side with Simpson, all the way back towards Cedric Kipra, who's looking for options to his right. Goes square to McGuinness, and now NG steps away from Lowe, but it's intercepted by Robinson, but Robinson then loses out to Philogene, and Cardiff here can break an overload on this near side. NG with a good ball into the penalty area, and slicing the ball up over his own crossbar for a corner was Baldock, and Cardiff City have found a way to play here very quickly.
No, they have, you know, two excellent balls, NG. And then on the first still in, it was Joe Royals that fired an excellent cross as well that has to be defended very, very well. What I will say, there's blue shots in the box, Cardiff shots in the box that are willing and trying to get on the end of these balls coming in. So yeah, much better for Legion winning possession, and like you say, turning, and he's got options, 2-3 options when he gets his head up driving forward.
Wintle with the corner again, an outswinger. High to the far post, Kappa heads it back into the penalty. Nodded down by Simpson. Fired towards goal, but the penalty has been given. The earlier challenge, low on Simpson. A foot up inside the penalty area. Simpson has gone down, clutching his face, and David Webb had no doubts, and it's a clear penalty.
Well, I don't know what Max Lowe's trying to do there. You know, Simpson, he puts his head down a little bit to the ball, but still it's definite high foot. You know, I'm trying not to make too much noise and conversation. What's he doing? It's a penalty kick all day long. There's no complaints about that whatsoever. It's dangerous play. You know, if anything, go put your head there. You know, go and try and block.
You often see those not given inside the penalty area. It's one of those fouls that is always given outside the box, but fair enough.
Yeah, well, you can't do it. You can't do it. You know, at the end of the day, if there's any contact, you know, it's dangerous play. What I don't understand is Simpson can only take the header backwards, away from goal. So Max, no, just make sure you get your body up behind, and can you just put the body in, not the foot.
Sori Kaba will take the penalty kick here. And Cardiff have missed all 3 of their penalties so far in the Championship this season. But Sori Kaba will look to change that run here. This is a massive moment for Cardiff City in their fight against relegation in the Championship. Kaba steps up and he scores, bangs it down the middle. Silence around Bramall Lane. Sori Kaba celebrates in front of a stunned cop. And this, a real twist in the Championship tale. It is Sheffield United 0, Cardiff City 1.
Well, it's an excellent penalty, straight down the middle as well. Sometimes it's the hardest thing. You called it there, missed every single penalty they've won this campaign, but went under a little bit of pressure. Strong, hard, straight down the middle. He's not even put the laces through it as well, just kind of passed it centrally, but it's an excellent penalty.
And so Cardiff City finally score a penalty this season. And Sori Kaba has scored his 5th goal in 7 games. And that's the sort of run you need when you're fighting relegation. And Cardiff City here score only their 8th goal away from home in their last 10 away games. And they are ahead at Bramall Lane. And they were building up to that. They were building up to a moment. And Max Lowe helped them out. And the penalty was dispatched by Kaba, and Cardiff lead 1-0 here.
Well, now it's about managing the game, isn't it? Now it's about, okay, yeah, but we've already conceded possession in the game. We're going to have our moments that we can get up the pitch and cause some problems. Early delivery, good delivery, bodies breaking the neck to get in the box, but it's about now defending well, being responsible. It's an excellent defensive line as well. It's a big switch there from Sanderberger to Lowe, and he's in an offside position. So again, that's what it's all about, is making sure that you're high, stepping up every opportunity.
And you're listening to Sheffield United 0, Cardiff City 1 in the EFL, live on Talksport 2 with Carling, the UK's #1 lager, 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. 20 minutes played. And it's the Cardiff fans away to our left-hand side, heavily outnumbered here, who are making all of the noise at the moment. Cardiff looking to win back-to-back away games for the first time in a year. That only their 35th Championship goal of the season. And they're coming forward again now with Atete. Atete with the high ball in. And that spell of pressure, Chris, really all came from Tommy Doyle overplaying in his own penalty area. They conceded that first corner, and Sheffield United were never quite right from that moment.
Yeah, what I will say, Nigel, if it was an Oliver Norwood in that situation as well, would do the exact same. You know, I think that's what the manager wants them to do. You know, not force it, not turn it blind. Oh, tell you what.
Now an opportunity.
He's got to call that back, Nigel. He's been pulled on the shoulder.
Yeah.
I know it's outside the box. He can give him a free kick in an attacking possession, but he's got to call it back.
It was Njai who was looking to burst into the penalty area. He was pulled back. The referee tried to play the advantage, and then Njai didn't really have the advantage to benefit from.
Was it Simpson? Has he got a yellow card as well? Yeah, he has. Yeah. It was Simpson again, you know. No, it wasn't.
It was Simpson. And the challenge came in from Kipra, and then it was slashed away by Rawls, but in the end Cardiff had a throw it, leading here by a 1-0. 21 minutes played at Bramall Lane on Talksport 2. And of course this will be of real interest to fans of Luton Town at the moment, as another rumbustious challenge, this time on McAtee, as the header was won on this near side by McGuinness. And at the moment Cardiff City have come here to put their bodies on the line, which is something they weren't doing on Monday.
Well, that's an excellent challenge from McGuinness there.
Now Wintle with a shot, deflected high into the penalty area. Rawls will strike it at the far post. It was bobbling across the box, sliced away by Egan. Wintle will try another shot, and Robinson, not convincingly, will clear the ball away. Now Lowe, forward towards McBurney, who throws himself down. No free kick on the edge of the centre circle. Capper now looks to build his way through the middle of the field, and he's given the ball up to Egan rather cheaply.
Nah, to be fair, Capper's got to do it better for me there. You know, he's got a Tete and Belgian breaking his neck down the right hand side. He's got to release it, or he's got to basically manipulate the ball and get the shot away there. He's trying to flick it up around the player. You know, come on, Cabba, you 3v3 in that situation there. You know, it's an excellent challenge on Ollie McBurney, who's got to be stronger. You know, very easily went to ground when he felt that pressure on the back there. But like you say, I need more from the striking play.
Well, 1 or 2 grumbles here. Half time in League One. Exeter 0, Plymouth 0, still Cambridge 0, Peterborough 0 as well. Cardiff leading here, and Aston Villa over on Talksport a goal up against Newcastle. Lowe with a low ball slid towards the edge of the Cardiff penalty area, and Jai though has been robbed initially by Wintle, but now McAtee with a good burst into the penalty area, flies it low, and it bobbles away from the goalkeeper Allsop, and Sheffield United have a much needed equaliser just when it seemed that things were beginning to unravel. It was John McAtee who took matters into his own hand, and it's an excellent goal for the Blades, and it's 1-1.
Well, what an excellent goal that is. McAtee receives the ball about 25 yards, he drives, he's getting marshalled, he's probably getting held by a Cardiff player, he's driving in, he just feints the shot, and I've got to Kipri for me, it's pure defending. You know, you either force them one way, apologies, it's McGuinness, you know, he's been sold far too easily. It's an excellent little take from McAtee inside, and it's still got a lot of work to do to get it around Kipri and find that bottom right hand corner, but excellent finish from the young player, fantastic ability.
Now at the other end, Cardiff looking to break forward. They had 3 forward there on the edge of the penalty area. Here is a Tete now down the right hand side, but he turns into trouble, and Sheffield United will clear, and it's brought forward by Njai on this near side, but Rinomota does well to catch up with him, the veteran, and guide it back towards Ryan Allsop. Do you think he could have done better there with the goal?
Yeah, you know what, when you look at the goal, you know, it has to do better. It has to do better, you know. I think it's excellent control from McAtee, but when he's driving in the box, feints to shoot with his left, McGuinness is sold on that. I just think there has to be a contact. I know he's in the box, but can there be a challenge? Can Kipri get a little bit closer as well? He's basically standing at the penalty spot about 4 yards away from McAtee, so he can see the full goal.
Excellent run forward now from Philogene, and he strikes it low, and it's gathered by Davis on the edge of the 6-yard area, but Jaden Philogene there taking on a couple of Sheffield United midfielders and going beyond both of them far too easily. He left Berger standing. The shot had power, but straight at the goalkeeper.
Excellent bit of quality from Philogene there. Like you say, the little one round the corner for Sanderberger with outside, and he got it to the other side as well. It's fantastic play, and like you say, struck it a lot better. Straight down the throat of Adam Davies though.
Now Lowe heads it wide towards McBurney on this near side, the left. He appeals for a corner, McBurney, as it just takes a flick off Kipra, and it goes behind. David Webb agrees, and it will be a corner kick here for Sheffield United. 1-1 at Bramall Lane on Talksport 2 with 26 minutes played in the Sky Bet Championship. Spurs against Bournemouth coming up on Talksport 2 at 3 o'clock, followed by the first Women's FA Cup semi-final at 5:15, Manchester United against Brighton. Corner kick on this near side, which Doyle will take into the near post, and a brave header away by Cabba, and it will be a throw-in for the Blades again. And it's left for Robinson to maybe hurl this one long into the penalty area. Doyle actually tosses the ball to a ball boy who offers Robinson the ball and a towel. And Robinson has plenty of room on this near side to work up a run-up, and that's what he does now, and he hurls it high in towards the 6-yard area. It's headed away, but now gathered by Doyle on the edge of the box, square to the far side, and McAtee, and all the way back to the halfway line, and Bogle, and now Doyle again, and you can hear one or two grumbles from the home crowd again as their team are rather precise in possession here when they have the opportunity to knock it long, but they'll wait for the right moment.
Yeah, but I think the information came from Heckingbottom and Stuart McCall. You know, I think they don't want a game that's end to end, which is very much how it's been the last probably 5 minutes. So it's a bit slowing down, getting dominant again, frustrating Cardiff, forcing Cardiff back, keeping them in their banks, and then playing the way that Sheffield United want to play.
And now Doyle clips a high ball from right to left towards this near side, headed in field by Lowe, and Lowe now gets it back from McBurney, who holds his position down the left. Robinson feeds it wide to him on this near side, back towards Robinson again, and now an opportunity for McAtee to play in low down the left hand side, back towards Robinson. Sheffield United dominating possession here, and Cardiff having to do plenty of chasing. Now Doyle forward towards Njai, but his first touch just betrayed him slightly, but he still has time to find Egan, who now brings it forward. The touch on from McAtee, plays in low, but he was just forced wide by the original ball, and now Njai's outnumbered, so McAtee can break into the penalty area, but the cross was blocked by McGuinness.
Nigel, they need to stop McAtee finding those little pockets. I know it's difficult, very intelligent player, not really great movement to create it, just stand still, but you've got to get closer to him.
Now McBurney comes in field, Egan slides it wide to this near side and low, high cross towards the far post. McBurney goes down, claims he was held down as well, but nothing was given, and now an opportunity for Etete to win it back from Doyle. He's charging down the centre, and Robinson has to come across one-on-one there with Etete and hoof the ball wide to the far side. Etete now tries to win it back, but in doing so he's fouled Baldock, and it will be a free kick.
It's great defending from Robinson. You know, he's one against two. Cardiff players bombing on, does the right thing in my opinion, just no danger, hits it into Rosie. All that Burnley's got to be stronger for me. There's not a free kick. Why are you looking for a penalty kick there? Go and win that ball. You know, you're dominant, you're physical. When you're at it, no, you're unplayable. So go and make sure that you hit that ball at its highest point there, and keep it alive for your team.
Rawls again doing his defensive duties on the far side, and he slides into Rob Bogle, but it will be a throw-in for Sheffield United down their right, quickly into the penalty area, but Kipra gets there before McBurney, and it's cleared away downfield again, but this time Cabba, who scored the penalty for Cardiff, they were ahead for 5 minutes here, he's closed down by Bogle, and it will be a throw-in to Cardiff City again. Half an hour played here on Talksport 2, 1-1 at Bramwell Lane. Elsewhere, Aston Villa still leading by a goal to nil against Newcastle. That game on game day over on Talksport. No goals in League One so far. Exeter Plymouth at half time, and Cambridge against Peterborough, which is half an hour in at the Abbey. And it's also goalless in Scotland as well, the Edinburgh derby between Hibs and Hearts, and in the National League a 12:45 kick-off, and it's goalless between Barnet and Wrexham. 1-1 here as Njai chases a ball forward into the penalty area right hand side, but Kipra is able to shepherd it back towards Ryan Alsop. And if Cardiff are to score and win this game, they will have scored more than once in a championship game. For only the 8th time this season they have scored so few goals, and they have tended to rely on 1-0 victories at times and just eking out points here and there. And at the moment they are out of the relegation zone because basically Reading have had the points deduction. And they failed to score in 18 games this season. Of course, they've scored here today, but
it's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, they bought Tete for £500,000 from Tottenham, a player who did well in the lower divisions at Northampton and Cheltenham last season without scoring too many goals, but it's a big ask to throw him into a championship team, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, the thing is, the championship, it's relentless, isn't it? It's unforgiving, so you have to make sure that you do everything in your power to hit the floor running, but it's always going to be difficult when that you're not creating too many chances in that attacking area, conceding possession, just defensively having to know your jobs, and then it's you're feeding off scraps.
And Mark Harris, another striker who's currently on the injured list, Welsh international, but he scores very, very rarely, only 3 this season, the last of those in November. Of course, Cabot, on loan from Midtjylland, the Danish club, has done well so far, 7 goals since arriving. Callum Robinson, the former Sheffield United player, he's on the injured list, scored 7 goals before he was ruled out of the team, but it's all bits and pieces. They don't have that consistent goal scorer. Rather like Sheffield United at the other end of the table, they've been able to rely on players like Iliman Ndiaye and Ollie McBurney, 13 goals apiece for them, and other players have also chipped in. Philogene looking to break on this near side for Cardiff, but Robinson slides in to make the challenge. The sun has gone in here momentarily. 32 minutes played, Sheffield United 1, Cardiff City 1.
Yeah, I think Sabri Lamusha will be quite happy with what he's seen in front of him at the minute. I think they've definitely shown that they've reacted to whatever comments that he's come out with, the changes of that he's made, the 4 changes have all come in and been influential, you know, played parts in the way that his team have set up today. But there's energy, you know, there's aggression, there's quality there. We need to see it a little bit more often than the flashes that we're getting at the minute, but you know, you look at the technical area, 3 of them are out there. It says a lot to me.
Yeah, Sol Bamba, who was a legendary figure in the Cardiff team the last time they were promoted under Neil Warnock, he's part of the backroom staff as well. As McGuinness plays a high ball forward, Tete has a swing on the edge of the area but makes no real contact, and it's cleared away by Bogle. Good leap by Kipra above McBurney, just inside the Cardiff half, and then McBurney claims he was held down by Kipra. And again, the referee says no.
Well, the referee's seen it. It's a push with 2 hands on the back of McBurney. It's a free kick. A very, very soft one, but it's a free kick because he's just trying to get an advantage, and he still couldn't hit the ball properly.
Sol Bamba's having words with the 4th official, Benjamin Speedy, downstairs, and it's one of those incidents where both technical areas are annoyed. There is a Cardiff City player down, so he will receive treatment on the far side. It's Simpson who fell rather awkwardly there and landed on his head from a distance after he was just given a nudge by McAtee in the air.
Well, I think his arms given way on him as well, you know, because his face is connected with the surface very, very hard there as well. You know, if anything, you know, you have to get checked properly. You know, I think McAtee went under him, but I thought the arm was out to protect, but then all of a sudden that's kind of given way on him as well. I don't know if there's a weakness in the shoulder or the elbow or something, but there's definitely something that wasn't correct there.
It's one of those challenges where you often look at the player who's underneath and you wonder whether they just step in and just
that little nudge, it can make a difference.
Well, Simpson is down at the moment, so there's a break in play here with 35 minutes played on Talksport 2 at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United 1, Cardiff 1. Cardiff briefly ahead here thanks to the penalty from Sori Cabot, but James McAtee with an excellent equaliser. Over on Talksport, Aston Villa still leading Newcastle by 1-0, and then Adrian Durham will have Matchday Live with all the goals as they go in later on. No goals in League One. Exeter against Plymouth is into the second half. Cambridge against Peterborough is late in the first half. And also goalless in Scotland between Hibs and Hearts. And in the National League, of course, it's a big day and it's currently goalless between Barnet and the leaders Wrexham. So much live football coming up on Monday night in the Premier League on Talksport. Leeds against Liverpool. Then on Tuesday, Real Madrid heading to Chelsea with a 2-goal lead. That's live on Talksport. Talksport 2 here at Bramall Lane. The Blades against Bristol City. Then Wednesday night we're live in Bavaria for Bayern Munich against Manchester City. City 3 up from the first leg. Middlesbrough against Hull will be live on Talksport 2. Thursday night Talksport in the Europa League. It is Sevilla against Manchester United, of course. A bizarre finish at Old Trafford. 2 late own goals levelling the tie for Sevilla. And on Talksport 2 we are live from the London Stadium in the Conference League, and that is West Ham against Ghent. 1-1 from the first leg in Belgium last week. And we also have the Grand National coming up live and in full from 5:15 on Talksport with Rupert Bell and Lizzie Kelly, and that's coming up later on today.
Well, I've got to say, Mark McGuinness has definitely had the memo. We received it from Sadio Lamushi about being aggressive, just completely manhandled Iliman Ndiaye there. You know, and it's what the referee never gave anything. I thought it would have been another soft free kick, but definitely a free kick. Just both hands, just basically picked him up, moved him out the way, and then went and put his head through it. He's definitely not short of any aggression today.
37 minutes played. As Ndiaye will chase a long ball in between the two central defenders, fires the ball in from the right, and it's beaten away by Allsop. Now McBurney heads it wide to Ndiaye, who has got back onside. He's looking for options on the overlap, goes back to Berger with a dreadful ball in field, which is quickly cut out by Philogene, and he will now break over the halfway line. Berger gets back to him, puts both hands on his shoulder, holds him down, and it will be a yellow card for him. And he knew what was coming, and he knew he was trying to redeem the earlier error.
Yeah, it was a sloppy error for a player that's so good as well, you know, just trying to find Tommy Doyle there as well. Just a pure pass, blind pass, but like you say, took one for the team, both hands on the back of Philogene's shoulders there just to pull him back. Really took the shirt off his back, to be fair, but rightfully so, yellow card.
Free kick for Cardiff City. And they were so good under Neil Warnock with set pieces, but they've been really poor this season under a succession of managers. Simpson curls it into the area, cleared away unchallenged on the volley by Egan, but it will come straight back. Kipra scoops it wide to the far side, but it's behind Rawls. Rawls tries to keep the ball in play, gives the ball away to Bogle. Bogle was then body checked by Simpson, and it will be a free kick for Sheffield United. And Simpson, on the yellow card, needs to be careful.
Yeah, I just understand he shouldn't be on the pitch as it is, because, you know, I think the pulling back of Ndiaye about 20 minutes ago in this half, and that one there, that's a yellow card in itself. Knows exactly what he's doing. You know, the ball stays in as well, so Bogle's going to get on the end of that as well. Very, very lucky that the referee doesn't say. I wouldn't be surprised if Cardiff take him off, actually, because it's one of them. You're going to lose him if he carries on with the challenges that he's made.
Well, he was one of the players who came on late in the first half. 2 tactical changes made by Sadio Lamushi at the weekend. The home team wanted another free kick here, but Philogene brings the ball away for Cardiff. He was caught late, but here is Wintle coming forward, wide to the far side, and Rawls back in field again to Wintle, and you can hear the home crowd not happy because they believe that 1 or 2 decisions have gone against them, and McAtee is still down midway inside the Cardiff City half, and eventually play has been halted here by David Webb, and there will be some treatment, and Webb is quickly surrounded by Sheffield United players, and it was a challenge from behind on McAtee, but
I'm looking at it, I'm waiting for it. I don't think, you know, the fans, it was a reaction. He's got the ball, it's not even
on the ball, yeah.
You know, and that's why I think Lamushi was out. That's why the Cardiff bench all got up, because I think they put even more pressure on the referee to let it go. But there's no free kick. It's a clean tackle, all ball as well. And like you say, if he's not even went through McAtee in the follow through, it was just an excellent time challenge there from Kipri.
Well, more treatment here for a Sheffield United player, and it's John McAtee So both sets of players are called in to have words with their respective coaches. And I'm sure that overall Sabri Lamucci will be the happier of the two coaches at the moment. I'm sure he would take a point here today. Of course, they could be inside the relegation zone for the first time this season, but that would need Reading to beat Burnley, and you would maybe play the odds and think that's probably not going to happen, but you never know.
No, exactly. You know, I think he's definitely, his team are very much competitive and very much in this game, and I think that's exactly what he's asked of them. You know, they've got the goal, okay, they have conceded, it was an excellent goal, but it could have been nullified, better defending, communication, organisation, whatever you want to call it. They're definitely in this game. It's just about keeping the levels up.
The long ball is played forward for Cardiff, and Philogene this time just clips the ankle of Robinson, and it's a free kick for Sheffield United by the corner flag on this near side. Some really big games today. The bottom two meeting, Blackpool against Wigan, Millwall against Preston. Preston, of course, outside the playoff places, but level on points with Millwall. Queen's Park Rangers Coventry, Reading Burnley, Rotherham Luton, Stoke West Brom, Sunderland Birmingham. And you can't rule Sunderland out of the playoff race just yet. That late penalty for Hull on Good Friday could ultimately cost them in that astonishing 4-4 draw. Swansea Huddersfield, Watford Bristol City, and Blackburn against Hull is at 7:45 this evening. And the fourth official here is just having to cool one or two tempers on the sidelines. And it was Kipra challenging with McBurney, and McBurney did have a trailing arm into the face of Kipra, and now players from both sides are just beginning to square up in the centre of the Cardiff City half.
Yeah, well, like you say, it's a big game, it's a lot on it. You know, Cardiff fighting for their lives at the bottom of the table, Sheffield United trying to go and win automatic promotion, you know, so there was a flailing alarm there from McBurney. You know, I don't think it might take Kipra by surprise. I don't think it warrants going down and rolling about on the floor, but this is part of managing the game as well. 1-1, kind of get in at this scoreline at the minute, but it has really kind of disturbed the flow of this game at the minute.
Well, it's one of those again where both technical errors are stood there to the referee. You've got Sol Bamba and Stuart McCall both stood there with their arms outstretched to the referee saying, what's going on?
Well, he has to take control. You know, it's the referee that says, you know what, right, Kipri, do you want attention? If not, right, get yourself up, let's get the ball going, because at the minute it's been stop-start now for the last, 6-7 minutes.
And we're back underway with a drop ball for Sheffield United. Doyle swings a high ball across the field to the far side, and it bounces over the head of Bogle, and it will be a throw-in for Cardiff City, and we have a minute of normal time to play in the first half here. 1-1 at Bramall Lane on Talksport 2, and I would imagine 2 or 3 minutes of added time at least. We've had a number of stoppages and a good deal of acrimony so far. Played forward by Bogle, looking for Njai, but it was just about cut out on the far side by Simpson, and ultimately Cardiff City will have a throw-in midway inside the Sheffield United half. And in terms of chances and clear-cut chances, Cardiff City have more than held their own in this game.
No, definitely. I think it's just shows, you know, when you're having that moment or that little period in the game where you're on top, you have to be clinical. They got the penalty and they scored the goal, but
here was Njai now chasing a long ball forward. The angle's tight, but he fires in the shot, and it's gathered well by Allsop at the near post, got down well, and he ensured the ball didn't rebound out into a dangerous area.
He struck it ever so well, really tight angle as well. What the keeper, all we can ask for there, although it's Burnley now.
5 added minutes in the first half. Berger now hits it right-footed. It was deflected by McAtee, his teammate, and it's behind for a goal kick. Yeah, Sheffield United with 67% possession, but Cardiff have outshot them 8-2.
Yeah, it's no surprise, you know, here at Bramall Lane, the way that Sheffield United go about business, but they dominate. You know, they're usually relentless, but I have to say Cardiff have been very, very competitive. Good challenges, good fair challenges going in as well. And then had that little moment, get those couple of short passes in. Yeah, they go direct, but not straight away. It's important that they
Now Rawls chasing a ball forward, it's been led by everybody, and in the end it's a brilliant save by Davis. A complete absence of communication there for Sheffield United at the heart of their defence. They all left it. Rawls was alive to the situation, and Davis had to sprawl and make a brilliant save one-on-one.
No, there's nothing to do with Davis there, and I don't like seeing it, but it's deflection. Baldock passing the buck to Bogle. Baldock saying, Bogle, you come and deal with Bogle, so trying to hold his player off. It's an absolute disgrace that Davies is getting the brunt, and then John Egan comes back and then has a pop at Davies as well there. Nothing to do with the goalkeeper. Baldock, go and make that initial contact. If not you, Bogle, whose area is it falling into then? You step forward, you step back, and you clear the danger. Nothing to do with the goalkeeper, nothing to do with the goalkeeper's communication there. The defensive line has to deal with that, Nigel.
Well, someone has to deal with it.
No, defence all day long.
Cleared away downfield again by Allsop. And Sheffield United, they're not at it today. They've got the equalising goal, but you just look at the team, I think they're missing Ahmed Hodzic.
Massive.
Because his pace at the back gets other players out of trouble.
They concede less goals, concede less chances, concede less shots when he's playing, Nigel. He's a big player for them in the attacking area as well. You know, he goes, he dominates, he can get the ball and drive into those midfield and attacking areas. But you know what? That's just communication. That's experienced players there. You know, Baldock, you know, Bogle. I think Robinson had gone forward. Egan was in an advanced position as well, but it has to be dealt with.
Now Atete having his shirt pulled by Bogle, but he's done well to find Wentel, and now it's clipped over the top, and it's Ridomota making the burst from midfield. Egan this time is able to guide the back pass to Davis, and the Welsh international clears long downfield up to the halfway line. McGuinness though rising above McBurney again, and Cabba coming back to win it from low. Robinson coming in field from the left, and it's a good ball to find Berger. Berger is able to turn on a couple of occasions. He looks to the left and right, the ball looks to the left hand side, and it's McAtee. He's got Lowe in acres of space, but Lowe leaves it for McAtee, and in the end McAtee swirls the shot too high over the top.
Yeah, he's done too much. You know, I've got to say, excellent ball from Berger into McAtee as well. He's driving, he's got his goal, he's feeling confident, but he's just got the way to pass to Max Lowe. He can get the shot away, he can pick 2-3 Sheffield United shots out, even give it back to McAtee there to get his goal. It would have been a wonderful strike if he hit the target and put it in the back of the net there, but you know what, there's a better option there, and at this time as well, just before half time, would have been an excellent time to score.
Aston Villa still leading Newcastle 1-0 over on Talksport. In League One, it's half time, and Cambridge now lead Peterborough by 1-0. Harrison Dunk in added time right at the end of the first half. It is still Exeter 0, Plymouth 0, but a big goal for Cambridge at the bottom, which could have implications around the playoff places for Peterborough at the top. Now Cabba plays it back towards Simpson, who slips as he hits it, and in the end the shot bobbles through towards Davis. But I think Paul Heckingbottom really needs half time here to sort one or two things out, because at the moment this is hard work for Sheffield United, and they're relying on pieces of individual brilliance rather than any real team players, and Jai provides some now, and he clips it over the top right hand side for Doyle. Doyle's low cross into the penalty area though is blocked by Kipra, and it's cleared away by Rawls, and it spins high into the crowd off McAtee, and it will be a throw-in for Cardiff City, and we play 4 of the 5 added minutes in the first half here.
Well, it is something that Sheffield United have had and done all season. You know, when it hasn't been going so well, they've got those individual players that can just get that goal out of nothing.
Well, that is half time, and you can hear 1 or 2 boos around Bramall Lane. Not the story we were anticipating here. 1-1, Cardiff City, who score so few goals away from home, taking the lead. Sori Cabba with a penalty on 19 minutes. John McAtee with an excellent individual goal to bring Sheffield United level. Iliman and Jai has gone close on a number of occasions, but Joe Rawls really should have given Cardiff the lead close to half-time once again. Half-time, Sheffield United 1, Cardiff City 1. Thank you, Dan. Welcome back. And both teams out for the second half here at Bramall Lane. And there is no doubt there is a huge 45 minutes coming up here, Chris.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I think both managers, it's about who implemented those ideas half-time, who got the messages across. I think both managers, especially Stabilamuscio, he'll be happy with what he's seen. I think Heckingbottom will be a little bit frustrated, trying to overplay too much. You know, yeah, they've dominated the game with the ball, but look at the clear-cut chances they've created off the back of that, and I think it's a bit decision-making in that attacking third as well. McAtee on a couple of occasions got himself in the box, fantastic goal, but again, can he release that ball on a couple of occasions after that? Ollie McBurney making the most of things, trying to win penalty kicks, just go do what you're good at, go be dominant in there and win those aerial duels.
And there's a change that's been made by Cardiff City. Callum O'Dowda has come on for the second half, and it looks like they've gone to a back four with O'Dowda on the left, Kipra, McGuinness and Ng, the rest of the defence.
Oh, am I right then? Simpson? No Simpson then?
Yeah, Simpson, who was on a yellow card and was lucky not to be sent off for another challenge, and Sabri Lamucci clearly alive to that, and that's why he's been taken off and O'Dowda has come on. A reminder of the two teams again. Sheffield United, Davis in goal, Baldock, Egan and Robinson, Bogle, Berger, McAtee, Doyle and Lowe, McBurney and Njai. Cardiff City now a back four, which is Allsop in goal, and G, Kipra, McGuinness and O'Dowda, Philogene, Wintle, Rawls and Rinomota, Atete and Cabba. And it's Sheffield United in the red and white stripes, defending the Bramall Lane end away to our left-hand side, which has a smattering of Cardiff City fans in the lower tier, but pretty good numbers considering the journey up here. As McBurney tries to break into the penalty area right-hand side, clips it up, nods it infield, and there was nobody there, and it's claimed by Allsop.
Yeah, it's a great little ball down the line. I think it's from Bogle as well. McBurney winning, timed the run excellently well. It's a great little bit of skill from McBurney, just flicks the ball up. Kipri's already committed to the challenge, but then McBurney's tried to flick Njai, who's miles away from him. If McBurney takes it himself, he's definitely getting in on the ball shop and hopefully getting an opportunity away there, but much better from Sheffield United. Timely of the run, execution of the pass, and bodies there in the box to pick up seconds.
Now it's flicked on by James McAtee, but it's overhit in the end, and it will be a goal kick for Cardiff City. A point for Sheffield United, and they would be 6 clear of Luton before they play Rotherham later on today, which is a game of real significance at both ends of the table as well. Huddersfield are in South Wales. They're playing Swansea. I'm sure Neil Warnock would love a result there as a former Cardiff City manager. And Queen's Park Rangers at home to Coventry. Now Millwall playing Preston today. That is a huge game around the playoff picture. Whatever happens, Middlesbrough and Luton, it seems, guaranteed a playoff place, and then it's Millwall, Blackburn, Preston, Norwich. You can maybe throw Sunderland into the mix as well. Coventry is still there, maybe even West Brom, who have a game in hand on many of the teams around them. Teams can often make a late burst into the playoffs and carry that momentum all the way through to promotion.
Yeah, I think it's important as well. You know, I guess in hindsight, that defeat from Middlesbrough, where Burnley won promotion back to the Premier League, I think the
Huddersfield game before that was maybe the game that really damaged them.
Yeah, but I don't see it as a bad thing, because if they take it so close and they missed out the last game, then Carrick has to galvanise that group again to go again for the playoffs. So if the likes of Luton, the likes of Middlesbrough, they can just consolidate their place in the playoffs, get themselves ready for it, make sure these games are important, just to have that momentum, Nigel. I think that's important.
3 minutes played in the second half here. Sheffield United 1, Cardiff City 1. And Cardiff have a throw-in wide on this near side there left. Joe Rawls will take it. Had that great chance late in the first half to give Cardiff the lead once again. It's cleared away by Robinson. And now a long ball played downfield by Bogle, and Jai is chasing, and he's having his shirt pulled by McGuinness, and Jai continues, and in the end Cardiff City make a hash of the clearance. O'Dowda tries to bring it away, McBurney wins it back briefly, and then Kipra on this near side, and Jai, the whole game really, has had Cardiff City players eager to swap shirts during the match itself.
What's a disgrace? McGuinness, understand a bit of aggression, but look at this, we're looking at the monitor now, both hands on Jai, basically leaning on top of him as well. If that can't be given as a free kick, and the thing is, he's last man as well. I know Kipra's right beside him and probably can get a challenge in. Look at it, what's he doing? How can the referee not see that?
Well, we have seen players booked for holding down in this game so far. Simpson for Cardiff early on, and then Sander Berger just before half-time for Sheffield United, and really that's something similar, and the fact it's happening in that area of the field doesn't really make any difference. And David Webb, the referee, could maybe get support from his assistant on this near side as well. He would have had an excellent view of that right in line. Now a high ball into the penalty area for Cardiff. It's headed away by Robinson on this near side, and it will be a throw-in, which O'Dowda will take. The player signed from Bristol City, and Cardiff have really missed him when he's been injured this season, offering real balance down the left-hand side. Now Atete tries to find Cabba, but the pass was behind him, and it's cleared away by Lowe over the halfway line, and it's gathered again by McGuinness, who of course was on loan at Sheffield Wednesday across the city here in the first half of the season, and it's cleared away by Allsop long downfield again. Philogene pokes it wide to NG, and now Philogene again, and he's cleaned out by a rumbustuous challenge from Robinson on the far side, but he won the ball, and it's only a throw into Cardiff City, although Philogene hobbles away from the challenge, and that is the sort of challenge which persuades Premier League clubs to send youngsters down to the Championship on loan.
You're not wrong. No, it was very timely, very, very strong, fair challenge as well from Robinson there. Sorry, I'm just looking at Atete as well. You know, I think he's had a lot of opportunities in this game. You know, when direct balls coming up, when there's good possession of play, I just need to see a little bit more. Still playing kind of beneath himself at the minute. The levels that I know that he's capable of.
Philogene's cross is deflected into the penalty area, cleared away, and then lofted back in by Ng. Atete was onside seemingly, just unable to bring the ball under control. Had he done so, he would have been clean through on goal.
Yeah, you know what, he's definitely onside, but I just think work your feet a little bit quicker there and maybe turn them.
Now McAtee turning on the edge of the penalty area, and he's been caught by O'Dowda, had his legs swept away. Yellow card for O'Dowda. It will be a free kick for Sheffield United, fairly central, about 25 yards out. And if anything, I think O'Dowda may be paying a price for earlier challenges which have gone before him.
Yeah, I think so. You know, like you said, there's been a lot worse that the referee's allowed to go. I don't know if maybe the pressure's getting on. Maybe he's had that information from his the fourth official, just saying, you know, you've missed a few now. You know, and O'Dowda's now playing on thin ice himself now. You know, I think it's important that Sabrilushi's men keep all players, outfield players there as well. It's important. You can't be a man down in a game with such importance. But I think Tommy Doyle's got his name written all over this one.
Doyle looking at this free kick. McAtee is also expressing an interest, but we've seen Doyle curl these ones in, and Doyle does curl it, tries to shape it, but it took a deflection and it's over the top.
Yeah, it's the connection, I wouldn't say it was great. The ball done its job. You know, I'm looking at now, and you know what it is, it's I guess the accuracy of it isn't far away at all there from Tommy Doyle. Fantastic ability again, young player, and I love to see it coming out and just getting the football in, but no fear, getting on the ball every opportunity and being so influential in games.
Doyle will now take the corner, an outswinger, low into the near post, cleared away though by Ng. Quickly won back by Bogle, finding Doyle again. Doyle with a great cross into the 6-yard area. Oh, what a thumping dive diving header from Jack Robinson, and Sheffield United have the lead. A brilliant cross from Doyle, given the finish it deserves by Robinson, thundering in to thunder Sheffield United closer to a Premier League return. Sheffield United 2, Cardiff City 1.
Well, it's an excellent header from Jack Robinson, and they're lining up in the box. What I will say, Nigel, the ball was better than the goal. Wow, no uplift. He just whips it in and it's bounced right on the 6-yard line, central of the goal. And like you say, bravery, Jack Robinson timed it. What a goal. I'm watching it on the monitor again. The ball was excellent. Wow. Got to be defended better. You're looking at the body of all the defensive line of Cardiff, all facing the goal. They've got to be positioned. They've got to have their back to goal, open shouldered, know exactly where the attacking players are. Can they connect? Can they make something of it? It's an excellent ball in. He's took it very early, but come on. There's 3 or 4 Sheffield United players lining up to go on the end of that ball there. Cardiff have to do better defensively.
Well, if Robinson hadn't scored, Unjai would have scored behind him. He was shaping for the header. And now Cardiff, having led in this game, must come from behind. It's NG down the right-hand side, clips a cross in, and Philogene goes for an acrobatic overhead kick on the edge of the 6-yard area. Almost took Robinson's head off, but Sheffield United will clear, and now they can break with Njai midway inside the Cardiff half, slides it forward, but Rawls slides in ahead of Doyle and clears the ball away on this near side. And we have seen Sheffield United show the sort of character which any team at either end of the Championship needs to show it at this stage of the campaign.
Yeah, and we've spoken about it, about the quality of individuals that they have. I've got to say, Ateti there, ball's fired up to him, he's on his own, excellent strength, keeps Baldock away. Fantastic little touch. He's taking it from the hood midfielders, and then Tommy Doyle just comes in and goes boom, have a bit of that, and puts the big man on his backside. Has to be stronger. It's finish, follow through, finish it up, make sure that you allow your teammates to get up, and then you release it at the right time. 2-3 excellent touches, great strength, but then not enough.
Philogene was just held back on the far side by Lowe, so it will be a free kick for Cardiff just inside their own half. Aston Villa still leading Newcastle over on Talksport by 1-0. Coming towards the end of the Devon derby, 2 minutes of normal time to play. Plymouth a goal up on Exeter, so they will briefly go 2 points clear at the top ahead of Sheffield Wednesday if it stays like that. Of course, they could be there by the end of the day depending on other results. And an hour played in the Cambridgeshire derby where Cambridge lead Peterborough by 1-0. And just coming out for the second half in North London, where it's goalless between Barnet and Wrexham in the National League. James McAtee coming forward now for Sheffield United, lays it back to Doyle, the 2 youngsters at the heart of the Sheffield United midfield today. Now Baldock wide towards Doyle again. Berger down the right, the crossing is deflected almost into the path of Baldock. Baldock then comes in with a rash challenge inside the penalty area on Rinomota. It'll be a free kick and a yellow card for George Baldock.
Well, you look at the body language of Baldock there as well. I think he knew that the yellow card was coming. I never thought it was too much in the challenge. He just gets away from him in the 18-yard box. He slides. Yeah, it's just the follow through, the momentum just kind of connects. Yeah, there's not too much in that. You know what, there's no connection at all. It's Rinomota as well that just kind of jumps the challenge, and I don't think it's a yellow card.
Well, the Greek international, George Baldock, the latest player to go into the book. And Cardiff City here in a familiar position away from home. A goal down. And the team who have scored so few goals this season will have to try and find a way to maybe keep themselves out of the relegation zone here today.
Yeah, I think they're going to make a change. I see Conor Wickham's stripped and ready. Again, another presence up top, the physicality. And I've got to say, Cardiff have been very competitive, so it's just about obviously keeping the levels of delivery that's been coming into the box from both flanks, to be fair.
Conor Wickham, another former Sheffield Wednesday player, Of course, had a decent spell with Forest Green in the first half of the season. 6 goals in 16 games for a team at the bottom of League One. Now trying to avoid a double relegation this season. On a personal note, and Wickham's had his disciplinary issues at Cardiff since arriving, but he will be coming on soon with his team 2-1 down here with 58 minutes played on Talksport 2, the home of the EFL. Aston Villa still leading Newcastle by a goal to nil. Over on Talksport, Game Day Live with Adrian Durham coming up at 2:30 with all the goals as they go in. Here on Talksport 2 we have Spurs against Bournemouth at 3 with Joe Shannon and Perry Groves. Manchester United against Brighton, the first Women's FA Cup semi-final at 5:15. Long throw from Robinson deep into the penalty area, poured away by Allsop. Gathered on this near side by McAtee, but the passing field was behind Baldock, and Cardiff now will try and break as a result with O'Dowda. He plays it wide to Philogene, but it was behind him and it's quickly cut out, and Sheffield United will come forward again now. Connor Wickham still waiting to come on here. Berger though has given the ball away, and Atete on the charge for Cardiff City on this near side, back towards Rawls, and now Wintle, and Rinomhota will lay it wide to McGuinness, and Sheffield United just happy to drop deep. We're not in possession at the moment. Rawls has got space down the left, curls it high to the far post. Cabba challenging for the header, but Robinson got the final touch and it's behind for a corner.
Well, I've got to say it's an excellent ball in from Rawls as well there. Attacked well at Cabba, but Robinson defensively had to do his job there, got that connection. If anything, just helped it on with Cabba on his back as well, but out for a corner. Yeah, no surprise to me, Atete coming off. You know, I think he's had little flashes and that, but not consistently showing what he's all about. You know, a little bit lightweight on too many occasions.
Well, he's a young player in a difficult situation, and it can be a very steep learning curve, and at the moment he wears the number 9, but he has only 1 goal so far this season. And Connor Wickham comes on. Did score in the win at Blackpool, although Lamucci wasn't that impressed with the overall performance, but of course they got a flurry of first half goals to win that game. A corner, swinging from the far side, fisted away by Davis. Hooked back into the penalty area by Wintle. McBurney leaping to head the ball away. Now Njai on the edge of his own penalty area. Fouled by Rinomhota, and it will be a free kick.
Yeah, both players fairly going for that one there. You know, it could have went either way. And if the referee had just never given anything, I wouldn't be surprised. But like you say, Njai, you know, no one can question, you know, his work ethic. You know, defensively, 25-30 yards from his own goal there, getting the ball, being strong with it, you know, knowing exactly with the experience and his intelligence, just to feel that little pressure. And you know, okay, not enough to go down, but he goes down, gets a free kick. But what's ever so hard for his team in all aspects. Oh, here we go.
And here is McBurney now, slicked in field towards Bogle, but didn't quite sit for him on the edge of the penalty area. McGuinness is able to clear, but Berger wins it back now, just inside the Cardiff City half. 62 minutes played on Talksport 2. Sheffield United 2, Cardiff City 1 the scoreline here. So Sheffield United will be moving another significant step forward towards promotion, and in doing so, leaving Cardiff City on the brink, hoping that others don't win later today to keep them outside the relegation zone, notably Reading, although they are playing Burnley. Now Berger on the edge of the penalty area, strikes a shot, but it was deflected as he hit it, but in the end a goal kick has been given.
Yeah, you can see by Sander Berger's reaction as well that I think the referee's got that one spot on, albeit I think a few Cardiff players got in the face of the referee there as well. Tommy Doyle and McAtee as well, showing a great understanding, you know, playing way beyond the years as well, just with the experience. Tommy Doyle just sits it, he goes when it's on to go, he can challenge, breaks up play very well, intelligent enough and quality enough just to kind of get those first couple of passes in as well, but he can go direct with quality as well.
And don't forget, 5:15 this evening, Talksport brings you live coverage of the Grand National from Aintree with Rupert Bell and Lizzie Kelly. At the same time here on Talksport 2, Ian Danta and Jenna Scalacci will have the Women's FA Cup semi-final. Top against bottom from the WSL. Manchester United against Brighton. And this game in the EFL, live on Talksport 2 with Carling, the UK's #1 lager, 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. Aston Villa now lead by 2-0 against Newcastle. Ollie Watkins with the second goal. He's on a great run at the moment. He's been reinvigorated by Unai Emery. And Villa closing in on the European place. Now a long ball played forward for Bogle to chase on this near side, but he wrestles O'Dowda, and O'Dowda clumps into the advertising hoardings head first at the Kop end, but he's back to his feet, looks to be okay.
Yeah, like you say, both players chasing that one down. You know, I think Bogle can he's trying to kind of keep it in and stay on the pitch himself. I think both O'Dowda and Bogle had committed to it. I think if he just puts the foot in, makes the challenge, keeps it in, then it's about who can go on their feet, scrambling to get to the ball. But yeah, he took a physical one off the advertising board there.
Plymouth have won at Exeter by 1-0, so they're back on top of League One. And Sam Smith has put Cambridge 2-0 up against Peterborough, also in League One. Peterborough currently 5th in the table, but they would be vulnerable to teams lower down as Philogene strikes a shot in for Cardiff, and it's just over the top from 25 yards. And Cambridge, if they win that game today, would only be outside the safety places on goal difference before the game's played later on today, so maybe a surprise, although Cambridge have been showing signs of life recently. 65 minutes played here. Sheffield United 2, Cardiff City 1 in the Sky Bet Championship, and Philogene is the one player, I think, who gives Cardiff City hope, both in this game and maybe in the rest of the season.
Yeah, I've got to agree with that. You know, real quality. You know, I think he's had a couple of shots from distance today. Not really troubled Davies. You know, struck them well, but straight down the throat of Adam Davies. Then that one there, just above the top left-hand corner. But he definitely has the quality to kind of manipulate the ball and create those opportunities for himself.
Well, if it stays like this, it will be 8 points and 8 goals in 10 games away from home for Cardiff City since the World Cup. And they've never been inside the relegation zone. They had a 12-match winless run in which they picked up only 5 points, which coincided with Sabri Lamucci's arrival at the club. They dropped from 14th to 21st in the table during that run. But now, Sheffield United looking to move forward again here with Lowe down the left-hand side, and the cross driven into the near post, deflected behind by McGuinness, and it will be a corner kick.
Yeah, it's excellent play from Maxwell down the left-hand channel, isn't it? You know, you're just thinking, can he beat that first man? He's got 3-4 Sheffield United shots in the box there that are always on the move, just waiting for the ball to be released. So just like you say, I think can he manipulate the ball just that extra time, or not so much, and just make sure that he's getting some delivery into the 18-yard box.
Corners work short to Njai, back out towards Doyle. Doyle could hit this right-footed. He does hit it, and it may have struck Sander Berger on the edge of the 6-yard area. It was goal-bound. It's now played back towards Doyle again. Another really good ball into the penalty area, but this time going down on his haunches. It's claimed by Ryan Alsop. And Cardiff will look to bring the ball forward again. Urgency from them now with 22 minutes to play here on Talksport 2, and Sheffield United leading by 2-1. Wintle infield towards Rawls. O'Dowda in space on the left-hand side. Philogene coming short to offer support. O'Dowda slips it into the penalty area, but it's simple for Egan just to put his foot through it into the front row of the stand on this near side, where a member of the crowd leaps up and heads the ball back, and it will be a throw-in for Cardiff City. Time running out for them, and they've not really suggested much of a response since the second goal from Robinson. They had 10 shots in the first half, 5 of those on target. But now it's thrown in by O'Dowda towards Wickham, who just knocks it straight out of play.
Yeah, it was a poor touch from Conor Wickham. You know, you expect him just to make that one stick. Yeah, but it's a bit delivery. You know, I think up and down this left-hand side, you know, Rawls is, you know, he has put a few good balls in. I think defensively, Sheffield United have been up to the challenge. So it's just about making sure that you keep the pressure on. Moments like that has to be better. You know, I think just keep possession rather than just trying to make a challenge and giving the ball back to Sheffield United. Cardiff, they just have to be brave enough in those first couple of passes and get the ball down. Like second balls here, McGuinness is on the ball. That's what you want. Don't mind that at all. Keeping possession.
Well, Sheffield United's last 5 wins have all been by a single goal. They've had 10 in total this season. 9 of those 1-0. As the ball is slipped into the penalty area, and they're really on the grind here. But that's how it is sometimes to get out of the Championship. O'Dowda with the cross into the penalty area, cleared away as far as Wintle. His shot was deflected into the crowd. It squirts out to Njai on the edge of the penalty area, and Njai, always a player who brings calmness to a situation, plays it back to Davis, who shanks the clearance horribly towards this near side. Philogene will get there before Doyle looks to show a trick and break into the penalty area. He's found Wickham. Wickham turns and finds Cabba, who bounces away from the challenge of Lowe. He'll try and break into the penalty area now down the right hand side, and in the end he plays the ball off McAtee. This spins behind for a corner.
Yeah, you know what, it's much better from Cardiff there as well. You know, Wickham finding Cabba there, and you can see looking to the skies again, because just the weight of passing to Cabba was too much. But like I say, Cabba's done very, very well. Good strength, excellent quality from Philogene as well, just to get himself in the 18-yard box there. But just try again. Every Sheffield United player was there on the front foot, making sure that they're pushing Cardiff further and further away from the goal, not getting their head up or able to get the shot away at goal.
Inside the final 20 minutes, Sheffield United 2, Cardiff City 1 here at Bramall Lane. And the referee just sorting out some holding and pushing and pulling inside the penalty area. Of course he retreats, and then it all continues again. O'Dowda with the corner into the near post, headed away by McBurney, nodded back in field by Wintle towards the edge of the area. Kipper flicks it on, and then it's cleared away by Baldock, long and high downfield. Rinomota is the last man, allows it to bounce, and then guides the header back towards Ryan Alsop.
Still very much in the game. I know it looks like Sheffield United are very, very comfortable, but all it takes is just the likes of Wickham, Cabba to link up. Good ball either from Rawls or NG from either flank. You know, they are still very much, and that's what they've got to believe. You know, they've been aggressive, they've been I'd say organised to an extent, probably in the middle and attacking third more so than defensively. You know, I think they can really kind of do a lot better from long throws coming in the box, either balls coming in. You know, I think just body shape, body language, aggression, and that defensive third can be raised.
It's cleared away on this near side, and then Sheffield United have a throw in. So Aston Villa leading Newcastle by 2-0. Plymouth winning at Exeter 1-0. Cambridge 2-0 up on Peterborough in League One. As the ball is played back towards Alsop again, who clears downfield. Hibs now lead Hearts by 1-0 in the Scottish Premiership. Kevin Nisbet with the opening goal at Easter Road. Will be off to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium shortly for team news, but Rawls comes forward now for Cardiff, up towards the edge of the penalty area, plays it square to Rinomota with a left-footed curling shot, and a sprawling Davis has to make the save. Wickham though gets to the rebound first, clips it across the face of goal. It's returned by NG. Overhit though, but Rawls will keep it in play, and there's an opportunity for him to cross high to the far post. It's cleared away as far as Wickham, who hits it. Oh, it's off the crossbar. What a strike from Conor Wickham. Davis was nowhere, and Cardiff inches away from the equaliser. They still come forward with Rinomota. High ball in, looking for Cabba. Cleared away again, and just boom, clear up to the halfway line by Doyle.
Well, he struck it too well, Conor Wickham. Absolute wonderful strike. Put the laces right through it, and if he took a little bit off that, or the connection wasn't so great, that's been right into the top right hand corner. But he's hit the stanchion there. Wow, a few charges going in there, Nigel.
Yeah, McBurney tries to play it forward to Unjai. There was an earlier challenge though on Berger which emptied both benches, but it's all the way back towards Ryan Alsop on the far side. Callum McFadden has been sent off for Wrexham in the National League. It's still goalless with Barnet, but the leaders are down to 10 men. Let's get headline team news from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Our 3 o'clock commentary from the Premier League. Spurs against Bournemouth, and say good afternoon to Joe Shannon.
Good afternoon, Nigel. Tottenham are unchanged after beating Brighton here a week ago. There are 2 changes to the Bournemouth side, but one at Leicester. Tavernier and a full debut for Matthias Vigna, who come in, where Tara and Smith drop to the bench. We're live on Talksport 2 at 3.
Cheers, Joe. Joe will be alongside Perry Groves for that game. And Ian Danta and Gemma Scalazzi bring you Manchester United against Brighton, the first Women's FA Cup semi-final at 5:15. The Grand National will be live on Talksport at the same time. The ball driven into the penalty area now from Lowe on the far side, the left, and McBurney was waiting to apply the finish, but Kipper with an excellent defensive challenge.
Yeah, fantastic ball again in from Max Lowe. Kipper had to make the challenge, because if not, it's Burnley and Njai can put the ball in the back of the net. Just look at this Cardiff chance. Conor Wickham, I tell you what, it's a great cross touch, and he's hit it ever so well, hasn't he? Wow, too well. Looking at it now, nobody's near him. Can he go and block? Adam Davies has no chance. Oh, tell you what, we just have to believe that there's going to be another opportunity in this game. You know, I think very competitive. A lot of positives for Sabah, which you can take from the game, but you know, makes it even sweeter if we can take a point or get something here.
John Fleck comes on for Sheffield United, and James McAtee is the player who comes off. 27,768 is the crowd here at Bramall Lane today. Still Aston Villa 2, Newcastle 0. That game's over on Talksport, with Game Day Live with Adrian Durham to follow. Sheffield United 2, Cardiff City 1 here, with 16 minutes to play. Cambridge still leading Peterborough 2-0 in League One. Plymouth winning 1-0 at Exeter. Hibs 1, Hearts 0 in Scotland. And it's still goalless between Barnet and Wrexham in the National League. Wrexham down to 10 men. But a free kick here for Sheffield United on the far side. McBurney crumpling to the turf yet again, and this time he gets the free kick.
Well, again, it's not a free kick, is it? It's just one of those things that he's looking for all the time. But the referee was, I don't know if he was kind of forced into it, a little bit of pressure coming from the crowd as well. But like you say, Cardiff, like you say, they just have to defend well. Good defensive line it is at the minute.
Free kick swung high to the penalty area, and it was flicked on by Egan, but it ripples the roof of the net and goes over the top. Well, have Cardiff had their big chance in this game? Conor Wickham striking the crossbar, but they still have to hope that they will get something here. But Sheffield United have really lived on their nerves late in the second half here. They've really been convincing today, but at the moment they're getting the job done. Eliman Njai has been flagged offside. He drives the shot straight at Alsop anyway. It was a tight call with Cardiff playing a high line.
Yeah, it was. You know, I think I'm looking at it now, just when the ball's played forward, I think Njai is looking this. It's so tight, isn't it? Poor defender it was that the ball finally got through to Njai, but I think he was just off.
Winnamota's ball forward is behind both Wickham and Cabba, and it's cleared away by Bogle, but now Wintle will bring it forward again. There'll be a double change for Sheffield United shortly. Kieran Clark and Ollie McBurney will both be coming on. Now Philogene for Cardiff City. Right-hand corner of the penalty area, onto the left foot, checks back onto the right, and his shot was deflected across the penalty area. Miskick by Bogle. It's turned into the penalty area by Rawls, looking for Cabba. Wrong option, it's behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, wrong option. Took it with the outside of his right, Cabba there, but it's just about making sure that you get there in front of Baldock, keep possession of the ball, and then just try and get something into the box with the quality that's in there.
Tommy Doyle is coming off for Sheffield United to be replaced by Ollie McBurney. And Jayden Bogle is the other player to be replaced by Kieran Clark, so presumably Baldock will just switch into the wider area to accommodate Kieran Clark.
Yeah, exactly that. I think just about kind of showing things up defensively. He's getting that little pointed finger now. Baldock just moving out there. It's just about controlling the game now. Trying to see it out, not giving Cardiff any more glimpses of the Sheffield United goal.
Well, Clark playing his first match since the 2nd of January on loan from Newcastle, and his parent club not having a good day, still trailing 2-0 at Aston Villa, and that will give hope to those outside the top four, notably Tottenham, who are playing Bournemouth at 3 o'clock. And that game is live for you on Talksport 2. Now an opportunity for Sheffield United to seal it, and Iliman Ndiaye rounds the goalkeeper and slams the ball into an empty net. And Ndiaye, who has undoubtedly Premier League quality, sends Sheffield United a significant step closer towards the promised land. When Ndiaye plays well, Sheffield United always have a chance, and he scored the clinching goal here today. They lead 3-1.
Well, he did. You know what? He's supposed to error. McGuinness has been caught there, but as soon as Ndiaye's faced up with the goal, the quality, the composure, and just how he executes it, just taps it with the outside of the right boot around all top, comes on to an empty net and just fires it home. Always putting pressure on McGuinness. It's a poor ball back, but an excellent quality. Ndiaye, and like you say, what a goal. What a goal. He worked so hard, with and without the ball, for his team. Selfless, but what a fantastic finish that is from, and deserves every single bit of success that he gets.
14 goals now this season for Iliman Ndiaye, with only his 4th in 22 games. And there is going to be another change, in fact 2 more changes for Sheffield United. Billy Sharp will now be coming on to replace Ollie McBurney, and I would imagine that Iliman Ndiaye will be the other player withdrawn, because Daniel Jefferson is the player waiting to come on. Yep. So his first and last action is to score the clinching goal. And Ndiaye, who has always looked the most likely scorer in this game, has got the third, and he comes on for Jefferson here.
Yeah, Billy Sharp as well, what was 249 league goals he's on at the minute. He's only one away from getting 250 league goals, Nigel. Wow.
Well, he's not scored in his last 13 games in the Championship, but many of those have come from the bench. Now 37 years of age.
Oh, he'll get it. Just a matter of time when.
But Ndiaye, I don't think it's any surprise he's been taken off, because of course he is a player observing Ramadan at the moment, so he will have had to have got up very early this morning to have his pre-match meal to observe that. And we've seen very sensibly football finally catch up with traditions around the world and incorporate that into the way the game is played at this stage of the season, as the ball is crossed into the penalty area low on the far side, but it's gone behind before it was played in, and it's eventually a goal kick.
Well, I think the referees also put the offside flag up as well. It has to go up. It's Maxwell is offside. We're in a position that we can see, or I can see directly across the line. I just think that something has to happen there rather than it play out, because there's 6-7 bodies in the box here. A ball's allowed to come in the box, and then the ref goes up. There can be injury, and it can just be nullified from the referee doing his job, which he knows that Maxwell's in an offside position as soon as that ball's played forward. Just make your decision, be brave enough, put the flag up.
Aston Villa now lead by 3 goals to nil. Ollie Watkins with his second at Villa Park. The conclusion of that game over on Talksport. Sheffield United leading Cardiff City here by 3 goals to 1. And for those Cardiff fans who got up very early this morning to make the journey from South Wales to South Yorkshire, they'll be heading home looking at the fixtures to come and wondering where will the points come from. Watford away, Stoke at home, Rotherham away. That's the rearranged game. They were winning that game when it was abandoned after a hailstorm in this part of the world. Huddersfield at home, that's live on Talksport 2 in a couple of weeks' time, and then they finish away to Burnley. Tough games. And they had their moment here. They had the lead briefly. Connor Wickham hitting the bar at 2-1 down. But are they good enough?
Well, they've definitely shown a competitive side and an aggression. They've created chances. They've had moments in this game where they could have and probably should have scored. But too often we see that, again, it's not McGuinness this time. It's but they just have to invite in their own pressure, making errors in their own defensive third, and like you say, they've been punished more often than not.
And now a back pass from McGuinness goes straight behind for a corner kick, and they need to be careful here, Cardiff, that their goal difference doesn't get a real hammering. It is currently -14, which is still at least 5 goals better than all of the other teams around them, which could come into play. Corner from Fleck, a real in-swinger high into the penalty area, scrambled in, and it's 4-1. And Sheffield United look dangerous now every time they come forward, and they score from a set piece. Cardiff City completely unravelling in this game, and it was scrambled in very close to the goal line by Kieran Clark. Both he and Billy Sharp were claiming the final touch. It was a real scramble close to the goal line, but it is 4-1, and in the end Cardiff City here have been given a real hammering, and it will take something to repair some momentum in the closing weeks of the season.
Yeah, it's a sober to take, but like you say, I think it's a bit disappointing that they're just kind of capitulated at the minute now. It's about making sure they don't concede again and just trying to go and do something. It's come off the arm of Sanderberger there as well, but like you say, Kieran Clark just going to make sure that there's no mistakes made and rifles it into the back of the net.
Well, Sabri Lamouchi stands there scratching his head. They were in the game until a few moments ago. Now they're 4-1 down, and we still have 4 minutes to play here. And they will look at the games they've got coming up, and they've been so poor away from home. They've got to win their home games as Allsop takes the chance and eventually manages to execute a Cruyff turn to evade Jefferson and clear it long downfield. Stoke at home, Huddersfield at home. They've got to win both of those, and Huddersfield, with Neil Warnock coming back to the Cardiff City Stadium, that is going to be very, very tricky.
Yeah, Huddersfield, they're on an excellent run of form as well at the minute. So
Stoke have picked up as well. I know they lost last week.
Yeah, but they have, but you can say that about all championship games. There's no easy, there's no gimmies in this league. So they have to go out there and earn the right and fight for everything. And to be fair, they've been competitive. Okay, the scoreline play doesn't worry what the performance of Cardiff today, but they have to kind of take the positives out of today's game and take them into the run-in. And like you say, they have to improve, but they also have to kind of create their own luck as well.
And we have 3 minutes of normal time to play. Sheffield United 4, Cardiff City 1. Philogene midway inside the Sheffield United half, slipped forward towards Cabba, who tries to turn on the edge of the area, but the challenge comes in from Robinson, played forward long by Fleck. Billy Sharp managing to isolate Kipra with his back to goal, brings others into the game, and it was Lowe who was making the run in field, but in the end it is cleared away on this near side by Wendell, but straight out of play, and it will be a throw-in to Sheffield United.
Well, it's excellent from Max though. You know, the energy up and down that left channel. He's chased them all the way into the right flank as well and forced the error. He's just walking back to that left wing back or left back position. that he's been in all day.
Baldock in towards Berger. He breaks into the penalty area, right hand side, pulls it back, it's blocked. Jefferson will get the first touch, and then it's hammered towards goal, fisted away by Allsop, and Billy Sharp not too far away from goal 250.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Just Sanderberger's tried to find him there, and it's just took a little nick. I think it's McGuinness as well. It's just got a little touch to it. I tell you what, it's going right in the path of Billy Sharp as well. He's wanting it. He struck it well, and also was just I think it's a camera save for the cameras. I think he knew exactly what. He was disappointed he just couldn't take it with two hands there. Also gives Billy Sharp another.
Norwood drifts the corner in over the head of Robinson. Fleck will try and keep the ball in play, but he can't do so as we click into the 90th minute here, with Sheffield United leading by 4-1. Spurs against Bournemouth coming up at 3 o'clock on Talksport 2. Over on Talksport, Aston Villa still leading Newcastle by 3-0. Cambridge 2 up on Peterborough in League One in added time. Plymouth have won at Exeter in the Devon Derby at that level. Plymouth top of League One. In Scotland, Hibs still a goal up on Hearts in the Edinburgh Derby at Easter Road. And in the National League, 10-man Wrexham are still 0-0 at Barnet. Now Fleck driving forward now for Sheffield United. Jefferson lays it back towards Berger, and Baldock takes over on this near side. Now Berger again, and the home crowd keen to see more goals here. And we have 4 minutes of added time to come as Berger wrestles with rules on this near side, and the free kick has been given to Cardiff City.
Yeah, I think Baldock and Sanderberger just too many touches out there. You see Sharp in the box, always in the move, just wanting that delivery to come in.
And we're back here on Tuesday night for Sheffield United against Bristol City. Chelsea against Real will be live on Talksport. Monday night, exclusive commentary from the Premier League. Leeds against Liverpool. We've got Bayern against Manchester City live from Bavaria on Wednesday on Talksport. Borough against Hull will be here on Talksport 2 from the Championship. And it's Sevilla, Manchester United on Talksport from the Europa League on Thursday. From the Europa Conference League on Talksport 2, West Ham against Ghent. Cardiff looking for a consolation, but it's been a fairly dispiriting second half for their supporters behind that goal in the lower tier away to our left. Ozunji comes in field, but he's robbed by Norwood, and Norwood now looks to seek out Jefferson, but the pass is just beyond him and it's claimed by Allsop.
Yeah, Norwood, the quality that he has, too much on that for Jefferson to get on the end of. I knew he had to beat the man. I think it was McGuinness in front of him there, but still, with the quality that Norwood has and the range of passing, it's not much. He had a lot of room for error as well for that through ball for Jefferson.
Allsop with a long ball up towards the edge of the area. Wickham losing out to Clark, and here is O'Dowda finding rules for Cardiff. Now Philogene though is challenged by Norwood, and it's played forward by Fleck to find Sharp. Tries to play in Jefferson down the centre, but it's cut out by Kipra. And Cardiff will try and finish this game on the attack, but they have got problems. And they go to Watford on Tuesday. Watford, of course, probably out of the playoff race, although they may disagree. We'll see what happens today. But they need to find a result away from home somewhere. I mean, they went to Blackpool and won 3-1, but in many ways that's a minimum requirement at the moment for any team in the Championship.
Definitely. No, they do. There is a lot of positives to take out of this performance, even though the scoreline is what it is. But you know what, I think the little bits of the game just get away from them. You know, I think started really well, winning second balls, putting Sheffield United on the back foot, you know, defending well, and the concentration levels are through the roof, but you have to maintain them. You know, the energy levels, again, yeah, when it drops, you have to make sure that you defend well and you just use the ball a little bit better, because they are back to front, quite direct. You know, they're not having that same kind of recovery time as a lot of those kind of possession teams have.
Free kick played forward by Norwood for Sheffield United. Wide on the far side. He's jabbed in field towards Jefferson on the edge of the penalty area, now low. Norwood just turning and playing it back towards Baldock on this near side. Berger then makes the run to the right, but it slipped up towards Sharp on the edge of the penalty area, and it's cleared away by O'Dowda. Wickham brings it down, but then gives it straight to Baldock. Played long downfield by Egan, and O'Dowda will maybe think about the back pass, but then thinks again with Billy Sharp in attendance. The clearance away, ricochets off Berger, and will go behind for a goal kick, and that will surely be that.
Yeah, I think managed the game well, got their goals, just kept the pressure on. Likes of Fleck, Norwood coming on, just doing what they do very, very well, getting on the ball.
And that's it. A big win in the end for Sheffield United. At times it wasn't entirely straightforward, but their finishing power in the second half was the crucial aspect of the game. And they move 8 points clear of the chasing pack in second place in the Championship. But Cardiff City could find themselves in the relegation zone by the end of today. And these are worrying times for the South Wales team, lacking goals and leaking them. It's the sort of combination which usually only means one thing, and Sabri Lamouchi will be hoping he can find the winning blend in the closing weeks of the season. But Sheffield United now are within a maximum of 8 points from the Premier League, and it should happen sooner rather than later. Full time, Sheffield United 4, Cardiff City 1.